Right, let's go through our install. So let's start with the roof. So first thing you need to do is work out where all your roof hooks are going. So the software tells us how many hooks we need. So it's 32 hooks for this 14 panel array. We're sticking 14 365 watt Longis in this. So essentially that is 8 per row. So you're never going to get equal measures, just the way the trusses usually fall at 600. So we've already laid it out, we know where our panels are going, and then we've got to suss out where all the roof hooks are going. So this is the bottom row the hooks are in, and we've penetrated the roof, so we're on the overlap, underlap, and then that comes through one of the tiles, and that will also have a cut similar to how the tiles are cut. So I'll shortly show you how to cut the tiles. So the hook's going to fall towards the left or right hand side of a tile, and it's got a nice bit of play on it. The hook, just show you a hook. That can literally slide one way or the other, which means you're always covered with a tile. So this one, we've took this slot out here. So that's the same slot that we would be taking out for that Copex for the roof penetration for the cables. Right, let's go through getting a hook on, getting a tile out and a hook on. So I want this tile out. So prise that one up. Good little tool here that helps us a lot. Looking for that nail. Get that nail out, and this tile should just push up, but we want that tile out in order to cut it. So that will get cut for another one, but just like Blue Peter, we've already got one ready. Here's one on the deck. So, right, there's the roof truss here. So that's slap bang in the middle, so that could go left or right. So we're going to go left. So what we want to do is get the tile that's been cut to the left. Just got a nice big section out here. Right, that tile goes in. Take a roof hook. So we get loads to aim for there. So there's the roof truss there. So I'm looking for 2 fixings there, so I need to put that across 2 of the holes. So again, you're going to need an impact driver for this. It takes a lot of power to get these big screws in. Hook, absolutely solid. Pull this back down, and now you can see that sits absolutely flush. Take it out, and there's a hook in. That's the hardest part of an entire solar install, is getting the hooks in. Okay, right, cable entry into the roof. So what we're going to be doing here, because today's mission is get all the roof work done, the weather's good. So the hooks are on, we're going to now do the rails, but quickly show you what we're up to with the roof penetration for the cables. So we're in a 25mm Copex. The Copex will go in a slot, basically similar to the hooks. We've found an overlap, underlap here, so we're going to be utilising that. So basically, you've seen us put the tile in. I'm not going to show you that again. That tile will go there, that goes there, cables are protected. So very important that we're going to have to put MC4s on those inside because we want to actually finish this array today. Not doing that and allowing them to arc could very easily put this place up on fire, so we don't want to do that. So essentially we're going to have 2 circuits, top array of 7, bottom array of 7. Do it that way because ultimately in the winter the sun is going to be really low and therefore there's no optimizers going on these panels. So should the shade hit the bottom one, the top one's still going to act properly, give you full generation. So that's your cables. So we'll get these ran up, MC4s inside and outside. We'll try and hook it all together and then we're onto the rails. Rails, right, so this is really easy, this is the easy part. So the rails go together with rail connectors. So on a, let's say a 7 panel wide one, you're going to need 2 plus a bit, so we usually put the cutting in the middle. So you might try and get clever and start from the end, you know, so as you don't have to cut one side of the rails and then cut off the other side. Been there, done it, see if something's off the square, it just gives you problems, so we try and just actually leave them a little bit longer and then cut the excess off with a recip saw. So I'm not going to show you how to do this, but basically this is an impact driver, a 13mm drill bit on the end. You locate it and you screw it in. It's not rocket science. Once we've screwed them all in, we always have a spare rail and then we check the line through to make sure that they're all nice and level. Quite often there's quite a few lumps and bumps on them, so you need to check that. But that's the rails, I won't show you, it's too simple. Okay, right, so all the rails are on, so the next step is getting the panels on. So it's Longi 365s we're fitting. This rail system and hook system is called Renusol. So essentially that's a mid clamp and you get end clamps. So there's a wee bit of sorting out, getting your square right, so it might look like a new house and everything's square, but not always the case. So you've got to get the first row square. Essentially your panels are plug and play. Put the panels in, one string, so one big series circuit, get them down, and we've still not made our MC4s off in the attic, so that's why we will absolutely not be shutting them, snapping those shut. So we will tidy these rails up. We'll use a recip saw, just need to go and get safety glasses. We'll cut them off and then stick a little rail end cap on. Basically that's how you get the panels on. I can't really show you us doing it because Graham's holding the camera. So that's it, panels. Okay, right, so over to the technical stuff. So on this install we're fitting a 3.68 hybrid inverter. This is a Givenergy inverter. Well, it will come with a battery, except we don't have the battery. There's horrendous issues just now. It's June 2022. The batteries right now are about 6 month lead times. There's no battery on this, but let's show you what's been going on. So we got our DC tails via the attic and then down through our cupboard, down into the garage, and then all the wiring's actually at the back of this wall in the garage, so that allows us to do quite a tidy finish in here. Often we'll have a little bit of 2x2 trunking, but again the wiring's at the back, so it's nice and tidy in here. So as I said, we're still awaiting the battery, which will connect to the inverter, but at the moment there's none. So what have we got going on? Here's your DC isolators isolating each string. AC isolator, which is going to isolate it. At the moment this is a Gen 1 inverter off the dongle. Just going to let you know, Givenergy have the absolute worst commissioning process that you will ever come across. This morning it took us an hour and a half to get that online. I plead with Givenergy to sort it out. So that's basically what you're looking at in here with regards to the inverter, and I'll show you what we've done at the main side. Okay, so in at the mains here, so we've introduced another 4-way consumer unit here. So we need 2 of those ways. So we are supplying an AC inverter, that's a 20 amp type C MCB, and a 6 amp MCB, which does this digital meter here. So that's essentially how the Givenergy kit knows where all the energy is going. We've got an isolator and a generation meter. Generation meter isn't quite a generation meter on a hybrid system because it will also register the energy coming back via your battery. So usually energy into the battery comes from your solar, but remember you can also charge your battery from the grid. So for me, that's quite antiquated nowadays in a hybrid system. I don't know why we have to fit them. That's basically the kit that you would be getting with that system. It's all labelled up. I've got wiring diagrams here. There's also one at the inverter just to the right hand side. So that's essentially one of our energy storage systems, and I hope you've enjoyed this and found it useful. And any questions, please get them below.